So this is Plat for Zyra game for Angry Cossack. Right, let's have a look. So you're Jin, Zyra against a Draven Sona. So both fairly aggressive. You guys might suffer a little bit more on the poke side of things. I think if you either get a catch on the Sona and burst it down really quickly, or you just play out the laning phase and just make sure Draven doesn't get a kill so he doesn't get to use his passive. So yeah. Need to get the scoreboard up 1 second. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Alright. Nothing happening in the Tribush. That's fine too. Start heading over now though for your seeds to be on the red buff. You want to get your seeds onto the red buff. At least you got one there. One's okay. Nice RNG spawn position from it there as well, so it gets to tank some. Okay. I would like to have seen you go... Oh, you actually took the red buff? Right, well that's not your fault, but you need to use that for this laning phase. Yikes. Well, it's got awkward. You need to use this for your advantage though. You need to get really aggressive. You're going to be level 2 really quickly. I want to see you playing optimally. Can't overextend too much even with the red buff, but you want to be in their face as much as possible. 2 auto attacks, which is fine. You're already level 2. Stand right at the tip of this brush, zone them out. I want to see... I think you did W. I think you should just go E. If you just catch at one of them with this level deficit, I think if you get an E on like the Sona or something, then auto attack, Q, I think that gets a flash. I don't think it's always a good idea to just take the take W, especially as you went electrocute Zyra as well. So you yeah, it would be like E auto Q. You would do the Q afterwards, the auto, because they would be slowed from red buff. Excuse me. Yeah, and then you got the Jin eventually hitting 2 as well, and you can just very easy W as well. Just don't know if you're gonna get much use from this. That's the downside, yeah. You got red buff, but you want to play aggressive, but you're going way too far forward. Just if this ever happens to anyone, you definitely obviously want to be a forward aggressive, but you can't do stupid aggressiveness like that. That's the risk, right? You overextend trying to do the extra harass. Yeah, you just take way too much poke in your face on the way back. So actually there's like, if you probably didn't have this red buff, you would have been in a better situation. You just got debated a little bit with the red buff, I think. Yeah, you definitely wanted to play it like with an E and play it safe. If you get a catch off, that's great to follow up with that red buff rise rather than having to like... Yeah, I think even now you seem keen to... Just be careful. Top your HP up as well. I don't understand. I don't... Although red buff would heal you a bit here. I would like to see you use the health pot here anyway though. Let's get your HP up to full. Zyra's incredibly squishy. That was a very close root attempt. Let me watch that again. Definitely right intention here of the root. Sucks to the missed. Root is really hard to hit, to be honest, especially at the very end of the cast. So close. I think what you could do here, instead of running diagonally away, if you run like diagonally towards Jin, you're still keeping distance away from yourself from you and Jin. Sorry, let me start again. Rather than running diagonally away, like furthest point away from both players, I think you're better off going diagonally towards the Jin here. You're still going to be keeping more distance away from the Draven for following up, because you basically almost used everything here. But if you get tighter towards the Jin here, yeah, then you get a chance to follow up with that. And then you have Ignite auto attack. That probably wouldn't kill them, but it would make them use Flash and Sonar and heal on Draven. Now you need to back off now. Draven's going to do too much damage to you here. You took a free auto hit there. Yeah, I think you could have probably got the Sonar Flash there. You still got red buff on for a little bit longer, and you've got 2 health potions. But you're taking a heal away from them. It's not a bad start. Sonar's going here. If this situation occurs, just make sure you've got full control of River. Use your potions, by the way. Don't let yourself get low health. This isn't RuneScape. Oh, okay. I need to watch this. There's lots of little things happening in this laning phase. I can see what you're trying to do, but at the same time it's actually kind of pointless, because what you're doing here is you're doing like 3 things here doing this move here. You're trying to constantly harass the Sonar, which is great, but you land your spell, which is great. But you're doing this by yourself, way far up. You're like a good flash distance away here. Alright, Night Tech, by the way. It's like you're desperate to get any CC. Let me just... when does this happen? I think Jin backs off again. I think it's a similar position. Yeah, it's the same sort of position before. You're very low HP here. You have a health potion that should have been using. I think you should die here. You really should be dead here, actually. Sonar Ignite, Flash Draven. I think that would be enough to kill you. I don't think Sonar was in that Ignite range. That's just not worth the risk. You're putting yourself in really risky situations here. Is Jin gonna suicide for that? Oh my fucking god. Really messy laning phase. Both teams are messing up a lot here. I think what's better in that decision. Okay, so Sonar is almost If you keep Sonar in the lane, she can't do anything, right? Because she's So what you can do is you can keep pressing them at the tower at no disadvantage or risk at to you. All you have to do is just keep doing max range at max range poke, and do not like push yourself forward in to take any more damage. So you basically want to make her use her heal to go even more. So the only thing that she can occasionally do is press a heal, because then it's you and Jin with like you guys had slightly higher resources at this point to just harass them under tower and just slowly whittle them down from that point. And if they do recall, you get a free minion wave push and they lose an entire wave of XP. So I think you could have played this lane a little bit better, to be honest. Like, stopping the recalls here is a good thing. This is the kind of thing you want to be doing before you did that last move kind of thing. Just keep them here. You want to keep them here as long as possible, without putting yourself in too much of a risk. And when they do finally recall, you want to hard push the lane and reset it. I think at this point you just need to push in the lane now and go back. Because now what will happen now then? You're too low. You haven't got your jungler close enough by to tower dive this. and you haven't got enough resources to tower dive, so just push this in and just go back straight away. Draven will have to stay here and farm on the tower a bit. You need to be helping push in this wave. You need to help this. Because what's going to happen is someone's going to buy items and then you're going to be at a deficit otherwise. Just help push in this lane for sure. I know you're trying to deny Draven, like... He's... Nice play. Draven should have just waited. Draven should have just waited, but honestly, I think if the Draven was better, it would have been better just to push in the lane and reset. Draven was dumb. And good job for getting your root on him. Yeah, he just saw he just went for cannon minion. He saw cannon minion and just went for it. I'm surprised you did E second there as well. Good job landing your E though, on right on the tip though. Draven had flash as well. Yeah, Draven just fucked up really badly and you guys get to capitalize on it. Alright, okay, good. Now you definitely want to push in now. Push, 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 push. Push, 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 push. I want to see you have better wave management control. Though, no, 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 no. Now you're back. Now you're back. You just got a kill. Please don't stay any longer. Okay, yeah. Wasn't worth it. Just get back. Alright. Alright, so who got the kill? Jhin did. You got boots, control ward, frostfang. That's fine. Good job. Sneaky Kane. You don't know about this? This is weird positioning. I wouldn't have expected that either. Right, just you guys are ahead. Just whittle them down. Draven's got Vamp Scepter, so you want to prioritize and whittling down the Sonar if you can. It's kind of what you've been doing before anyway, is mainly focusing the Sonar. Yeah, just be careful. Just whittle them down. Nothing too risky. Draven's already lost a lot of his stacks at this point, so you don't have to do anything crazy. You've already won the laning phase. Jhin mid game is already going to be stronger than the Draven, so you just need to basically, if you just survive the next 5 minutes without a kill, you'll be fine. You need better vision control though if you're going to be this far up. Where did you use the control ward? I think... Okay, right. So control wards when you're pushing up, and you have been pushing up to this tower the entire game, there's 2 places that you should consider, not this one. You want to put it in this one here. Putting a control ward on this brush does 2 things. It means when the lane does finish on the tower, it means you have guaranteed no vision for the enemy for here, so you can pounce. You can have the option to just sit in this brush and let the lane reset in the middle here, and then you can deny them CS that way. Another thing that it's important to have a control ward here if you can as well is to stop TP ganks coming from behind. This could be bad later on if Renekton decides to TP down here. Otherwise, get control wards either here or here. It depends on what your jungler's been having control of. Worst thing you want right now, the only thing that's going to spoil this party and the tower right is another player. You guys can obviously handle them 2v2. This is when it gets 3v2. Is when it's going to get spicy. So in your mind, you should be constantly thinking about where is everyone and who is going to come bot and when. Because that's the only way you guys, like, question mark pings have just come down from Echo down at mid lane. You just need to run off now. Run, run, run. Just increase the distance. If there is a gank about to happen, just increase the distance between you and the enemy bot lane. So then it's temporarily 2v1. Nice. You didn't need to flash there though, but it's okay. I can understand why you did. That's fine. Good. You didn't die. You wasted Fizz's time. This is fine. I think if I were you, I would tell this Echo to go back. I would tell this Echo to go back and keep pushing in mid. There's very little that you guys can do here. Especially with no ultis on you and Jhin. If Jhin had ulti, he could just like ulti and slow them all down and Echo could flank in easily. But I think I would tell the Echo just to go back to mid by doing the was it the V ping on him, and he would like be able to just go back up and claim some of the CS again, and then your mid lane would automatically have an advantage there in terms of CS and XP. Also, I'll be telling my Jhin here just to hold off. Fizz could be in this bush here or waiting around bot lane still. So just tell the Jhin just to slow down the CS and just freeze the lane onto your side of the map for a bit. Just wait for it to call off again, and then you can then keep pushing into the tower. I'll be spam picking. This Echo's wasting way too much time now. You should be spam pinging him back to go back to his own lane. He's wasted about 20 seconds already, 30 seconds. He's missed an entire wave of XP basically in CS, really. Or maybe half a wave. But he could have easily denied a whole wave of CS for the enemy mid laner. How did Leona game go? We won it, magically. Yep. This is fine, rinse and repeat and stuff. You don't have a control. You lost your control ward. So you have less vision. You got your ultis here. I would say to this Echo's already pinged back here actually. So once again you need to just take a step back. The only way, you're already ahead in this lane, Draven's got no passive stacks or whatever, so you don't want to give them any leeway, basically. Decent engage here though, really nice play. At what point though did you see Fizz going back into lane? I just want to check both things. Because question marks will come from Echo in a second here. Yeah, there. I need to put Fog of War on for blue. So at this point you see he's back into mid. Okay, this is a really good decision from you, really good map awareness. So you see Fizz has gone back into mid. And now you know you can go in. Really nice play here. Nice patience from you. Yeah, that was clean. Really clean. Right, at this point now you got two options here. First thing you want to do is make sure this lane's pushed in, which it is, which is fine. You should consider trying to call your Yi over to do this strike. However, he looks like he's been losing the laning phase, so actually might not be a good idea to do that. Minion wave is too far away to do another wave after this as well. You don't want to tower dive this. Yeah, Kane's nearby. Yeah, I think you just push in the wave and recall again. Get control wards and stuff. Upgrade your boots if you can. What are you on? Yeah, you can upgrade your boots and get control ward. Oh, fuck. I don't know if you saw the Kane come in there. I don't know if you tunnel visioned that. As soon as he started that, you should have noticed this blob here. The problem is you guys have nothing. Jhin has summoners but no mana, and you've got no ulti. Yeah. That wasn't necessarily your fault. Jhin initiated that. Even if you were to stay back to protect the Jhin, I think both of you would have died anyway. So I think in that circumstance, I think you were doing in the end the right thing there. I would just like to see you have more control over the game with pings. Like for example, let me go back. So after you get this kill here, you don't want to tower dive anyway, because you have no summoners and Jhin has no mana anyway. I'll be spamming ping back after this. I'll be spamming ping back and just say, look, we need to get back. Let's not fuck up our advantage. We're not going to get tower or a tower dive here anyway. Just ping back. Yeah. Or whatever. I mean, ganks happen. Alright. I would have liked to see you buy Sorcerer's Shoes instead of buying Ruby Crystal and Amplifying Time. Magic Penetration is already more damage than the book, and the movement speed will help you a lot here as well. Once again, you got two options here in this situation. You want to E this wave anyway to kind of semi-freeze it until Jhin gets here. You either want to hard push it, or you want to freeze it. I would say freeze. You've been ganked constantly. I'll just say try and tell your Jhin to freeze here. Do what he can to freeze. Is this still an okay potential for a freeze here? This is going to happen. You need to help push in the next wave straight away because the Draven has to recall from what his resources were. So you need to help push in this wave. You need to get this wave shoved in really quick. Yeah, I don't see you pushing in like ever. I want to see you have more wave management understanding. I think that's your main weak point is wave management. Also hit the tower here. Good E, but I want to see. I would rather see you auto hit the tower 3 times for the gold. Once again, you should always be wary of ganks. You've been ganked multiple times this game already. Check this bush as well. Yep. Like in this situation here, I mean, you know that Kane's topside and Fizz is mid. I think if you're gonna tower dive or do anything, I think now's your best chance. Jin's ulti is about to come up. I think now you can play a bit aggressive once you know that the Kane isn't here. Yeah, things like that are fine. I think you need to try and stay on the same level though as Jhin. Try and close the distance between you and Jhin a lot more. Nice route again. Your routes are definitely being on point. I think you could do more involvement there though. After hitting that route, and then using everything, really decent ult as well. Would have liked to see it a little bit more to the right hand side. I want to see you trying to like move up this way. Just get a couple more auto attacks in. You can probably auto attack twice during this point. You got one. Could have probably done 2. Jhin has his ulti now. Yeah, now you want to think about moving in because you just saw Kane top side. Nice. I think you have to get tower here. I think you have to. Okay, what I would do in that situation is I would leave the E. I would actually leave the E and abandon him, sacrifice the E to get the tower. Yeah, it's painful to watch. It's a shame because you're just trying to help out your teammate, but I think he's already too fucked. I think you could have got the tower here. You need to back now though. You're backing Jhin, this isn't your fault. You're doing the right move here. TP's coming in, it's a waste. You need to lane swap straight away. Yeah, you're gonna lose tier 2 top. Yeah, you two are doing the right thing here. Your routes have always been decent. You definitely haven't got issues with mechanics, right? The mechanics are definitely like decent. It's just like this game so far is like a deficit mainly because of your team anyway. You just need to think a little bit more outside your lane when things are going on. I think your mechanics are definitely decent. Your route landing is very high, very consistent. I would like to see you focus more on understanding lane management and knowing when to push in harder and things. And I would like to see you brush up a little bit on item builds as well. Your item build right now is not optimal at all. Basically what you've done is... Okay, so Oblivion Orb has less magic penetration than Sorcerer's Shoes. You will get obviously the tiny bit more HP from it, but you need to... In fact, have you got... Would be interested to see what your gold situation was like that. Because if you didn't have this like random amplifying tome in your bag, you could have Sorcerer's Shoes here and an Oblivion Orb. I want to see Sorcerer's Shoes first and then Oblivion Orb. Ideally, if you haven't got enough money, then you will buy components towards Oblivion Orb. But as soon as you can buy Sorcerer's Shoes, you should do it. There shouldn't be a random tome sitting in your bag. It's going to be a tough game from here on. Definitely, for sure. You got a really hard game on your hands here. Right, let me just pause it here just to answer some questions in Twitch chat. Oh yeah, and also another thing, Angry, is to have be more vocal on pings and telling people. When your mid laner, for example, is roaming down and just wasting time, there's just no point for that. So he might as well just go back to mid. So be more vocal with your pings, or unless you didn't realize, then that's something else you need to work on. But pinging the mid laner, for example, to go back to his lane so he doesn't waste time is a big thing as well, because don't forget, it's not just advantages on your lane, it's advantages on the other lanes as well. I love how you do these reviews. How have you come up with a good rule of thumb for who gets reviewed? Put your details in the Discord channel on VOD reviews, and then I prioritize active subs, then subs, and then free-for-all. And all of these VOD reviews go up onto YouTube as well. So you start seeing some of these game reviews up on YouTube over the next 2 days. What ping do you use for that? The caution ping? Whatever the V one is, I think that's the caution one. The yellow one. The back, like the soft back, not the alert one, not the red one. The V. I think all you can do here is just... I mean, they're fighting for dragon. You can see that you just have to go all out for this. Yeah. The TP's coming through. Push in the lane and go back. In theory, you shouldn't be able to kill top lane 2v1 unless you're insanely far ahead. You're a little bit far ahead, but this is going to be scary. Renekton hasn't got ult, which you don't know about actually. If Renekton had ult here, this would be actually quite spicy. Yeah. Would have been interesting to see if the Renekton were the ulti. I think you're kind of hard pressed to do something anyway on the map. It's the hard thing with deciding what to do against that top tower when you lane swap like that. The main thing you need to think about when you're switching to topside is where is my jungler. Doing 2v1, in theory you should win, but actually most times you lose because of the extra level and gold difference on a solo laner. Tower diving is extremely difficult, and also you may have not necessarily known where the jungler is as well. At least at this point you know that the enemy jungle now is very fed. It's going to be the main concern for you this entire game. Is it coming up to your first team fight now? You've all decided to group, which is probably for the best so King doesn't pick you off one by one. Good roots again. Nice setup there. You won't be able to get a kill, but it's good harassment. Just be careful. You don't always want to be the first person miles in front. I know there's no tank in your team, but oh god, okay. Right, seeing this, Wukong go in, I think you can't do anything here. You know, Wukong's extremely far behind. I don't think you can follow this up. I think the Wukong dies and you just need to back off. Yeah, you're way too deep. Okay, you had to flash out. I wasn't completely wrong. Jin does a lot of damage. I think the follow-up on the Wukong at max range is fine. At that point, I think here you can follow up with max range. It's just that you should realize that the Wukong's fucking really, really weak. You should have seen this. At this point, you should have known that this guy was going to die straight away and you should have did a 180 and just turn around there. Yeah, going in there was really random. That's probably the biggest mechanical mistake I've seen you do the entire game. That was strange. What did you want to say to me, Ham? So you had a really good game recently where you went 2-0, 31 on Rakan. Good job. Good job, Ham. Just be careful by yourself here. You just had to use flash to get out of a big thing. Yeah. You kind of remind me of me a bit. You remind me of me in a bit because you are trying to make something happen out of nothing just to try and get your team ahead. I do this. This is one of my biggest mistakes that I make myself. You just had to use your flash. And, yeah, it's just too much. You're just asking for too much. Just reminds me of me. I do this sort of crap all the time. Just try, when you're behind like that, it gets really stressful and you gotta try and make the big boy plays. Especially when your bot lane's the only lane that's won the game as well. So yeah, I think the best thing is just you gotta try and capitalize on the enemy's mistakes rather than trying to force something. Impressed with your mechanics, so you're landing like your E's fairly often. Yeah, you're definitely playing a little bit more restrained now after that. You need to be involved in this fight still. You can't run away. You got no ulti, but you need to be... I don't think it's acceptable for you to run away that quickly. Especially when you could lose everyone here anyway. Jin dies, yeah, bam, that sucks. Wukong goes in here though, and you need to be standing around about here still. You kind of lose this fight for sure though. I think at this point is you want to try and make sure you try and pilf to try and get anyone on your team to survive. But yeah, you basically did the right thing though. Like you knew you weren't gonna win that team fight because you lost your Jin instantly. But yeah. Yeah, sure, Ham, you can link it. Just get an admin to give you permission. Or put it on Discord if you want, dude. Just let them have the tier 1. You actually soloed Kane 1v1. Just do your best to wave clear. Focus on wave clearing at this point. Just slow them down as much as possible to get this tier 1 without putting yourself at risk. Yeah, that's all you can do, really. Managed to hold it off, though. That's nice. The ulti's up now. Don't think you can do anything here, though. This is really greedy from Jhin. How much money have you got? Only 800 gold. It's not a lot you can do, really. This is just turning into one of those ARAM games, really. I think that works in your favor, though. With your team comp, Wukong and Yi are pretty damn nice late game. I think delaying the game is fine. Just don't put yourself in any risk from a Fizz ulti or a Sona Flash ulti. Just try and focus down on killing waves. Clear off the minion waves. Try and keep your tier 1 up as long as possible. Harass tiny amounts if you can, just to get a few gold to 5 stacks. Nice. Oh, you walked into that. That's unlucky. You should have ulted here. That's too late. Alright, let's watch that again. Alright, you saw the Fizz coming forward for it. Right, the ult's already missed. You need to stop running away at this point. You need to start turning right back into this. This ult is already miles like off from anyone. You just want to come straight back in. Like midway through the cast, you know if it's gonna hit you or not. And you want to like move back into Fizz if it's gonna miss. You're still running away here. You need to be here in case Fizz goes full ham on someone, and then you just whack everything down. You got the root there, though. You've got Ignite here as well. You probably could have done an Ignite and ulti. Fizz should be dead for that. Fizz should definitely be dead for that. Yeah, I just think you maybe thought Fizz was gonna die. I don't know. This is probably the biggest mechanical mistake now all game. Just as that's coming through, you just want to come through here. Block off the path thing. Even if you're end up being the primary target, it's much better that you're the target rather than Fizz. And you just whack everything down. Like another thing you could do with your ulti instead of putting it over Fizz is you could put the ulti behind to stop the enemy from collapsing in. You're just way too far away at this point. Yeah. Yeah, it's just too much. It's too little too late kind of thing. I mean, at this point, don't put yourself down too much. In the whole grand scheme of things, there's a lot of this game isn't your fault, but these are things that you could have done to help. What happened here? I see you and Wukong trying to come into save. Oh, this tower's down, dude. This tower's down. You're not saving this tower. This tower's down. You got debated in there really hard. That Kane is doing 1,000,000 damage as well. Should have just left that tower. Yeah. Team's getting cleaned up here. I think there's no need to keep reviewing this game. Let me just see what items you bought here. Why did you buy Morello first? I don't think Morello here is the best choice. I'd have liked to see you have a Leandries or a Rylai's. I think the Oblivion. What did you do with your item build? Let me just ping back to different parts of the game. So we've already discussed about how you should have had sock shoes. You got your magic pen there. I'd go Leandry's here. What happened with your build? I don't think you should go Morello. Because of Renekton. I think your Leandry's alone would out damage the healing coming from a Renekton ulti. He's got no magic resist there at all apart from Mertred, so I think your Leandry's would do as much damage as a Renekton gets from his HP, if that makes sense. I think Sonna's healing isn't enough to justify it. Although they do have a Vamp Scepter on Draven, and he might be going Bloodthirster. I would say... I understand where you're coming across. What I would do, if I were you, I'd build Haunting Guys first, and then decide. I think the extra 10% damage coming out from Haunting Guys would be nice, and then decide from there. And see what Draven buys next item. Because if he does go Bloodthirster, then you, at that point, you probably do want to have Morello. I think on hindsight it doesn't even matter. It literally doesn't even matter. As long as you buy Haunting, start buying Landry's now, it'll be fine. I think I'm just nitpicking here. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you do start going to the Andrews now. Yeah. Alright. Alright, thanks for popping on, Katsu. Thanks for the sub. Take care. Right, I think that's all I need to do on that pod. That's a lot of stuff there already. And I don't want to overload you. Sorry for the phone beeping sounds. Is let me just close the game. Hold on. Alright. Is Morello ever a good first buy, not just for supports? I would say Morello is vital if you are an AP support against a Soraka. I think Soraka is one champion where is a must. You need someone on your team to have an Executioners or a Morello. So yeah. But Angry, yeah, your mechanics are fine, don't worry about that generally. Lane management and pinging back mid laners and stuff. Being more vocal in your game and pings, I think. So just try and deal with those couple of things. Just know when to push in the wave, and also understand that if you're pushing in a lot like that as anyone under their tier 1, just you need to have like the only thing that's gonna kill you is by being ganked, right? So you need to make sure you are watching the minimap more and having better control of the map rather than focusing down on harassment as much, because you'll be gradually winning the lane, even if you miss like one Q or whatever on the two of them under tower because you were trying to figure out where people are on the map. That's way more important than landing like a Q or whatever under tower. So yeah. So hopefully that helps you out, Angry. Oof.